Hi, I'm Jose Carey from Vice Outdoors and the Guide Tide team, and I'm here to break down a little bit of the Owyhee box. I do guide the Owyhee River with Dreams on the Fly, and so I've put a little bit of input into this box to hopefully give you some success. If it's your first time coming out here, or maybe you're a veteran and need some reminders, this box is absolutely for you. We have a selection of flies that we trust and use here on the river. And on the back, we have some reminders of rigs that we use on the regular here on the Owyhee River and all over the United States. So first, I'm going to show you a simple dry fly rig, which is here on the back. And I'm using a blue wing olive in a parachute variation. Okay, this is a fly we use regularly on this river, and especially as the weather gets cold, blue wing olives will be popping very regularly. So what it is we just have a small size 18 blue wing olive. That's a very common thing you're gonna find on the Owyhee. Small bugs is the name of the game. I'm tying that to 5X tippet, and that 5X tippet is then attached to a 9-foot 5X leader. Okay, I like 5X. It's a very good, consistent tippet, small enough to get those takes and be a little bit stealthy, but big enough to handle some of the bigger fish that are here on the Owyhee. Just rigging that up to a 5-weight rod. You can go down to a 4-weight or a 3-weight if that's your game. You could go up to a 6-weight if you want to. The rigging process is gonna be very similar. Popper dropper season at this moment, summertime. It is an absolute must-have for the Owyhee River and many of the western rivers in the United States. Here we got a hopper pattern. I believe this one's a Dave's hopper. And below that, we have a nice dropper. In this case, a split-back PMD nymph. A very important bug here on this river, as PMDs are one of the major bugs that comes off in the mayfly family. We're gonna rig this up to, in this case, a 6-weight rod. You're gonna wanna have a little bit more aggressive line with this one, as hoppers can be a little bit harder to cast. I do recommend maybe taking that leader, sizing it down from 9 feet long, maybe to 7.5, and definitely do not use less than a 4X leader. If you go with a 5X leader, you're gonna break off fish just on the hook set. So make sure you're using a 4 or a 3X leader for this. Our next rig is a classic nymph rig. There's lots and lots of different ways to nymph, from the Euro game and tight lining all the way to the indicators and New Zealand style, but this one we're gonna keep it very simple. What we're doing in this rig is we're going with, in this case, an airlock indicator. Doesn't have to be airlock. There's many good indicators on the market. This just happens to be one of our favorites. You're gonna put that onto the leader section of your setup. In this case, you could go with a 9-foot or a 7.5-foot leader, depending on what the depth of your waters require. Here on the Owyhee, a 7.5-foot leader is more than sufficient. Off of that, I'm gonna add a length of tippet, in this case 4X. Right after that, we will tie our fly to the end with a small weight just a few inches above the first fly. Don't put that weight on the fly, as that will weigh it down too much and you will lose its stealth and natural presentation. It needs to have some distance. Off of that, we're tying to the bend, and in this case we have an egg pattern behind, and the reason why is it is fall time. Fish spawn and they do key in on egg patterns. This can be switched for any nymph in your box. You can switch it for another pale morning dun, another midge, whatever the fishing dictates. All right. Now that we've gone over the rigging for these flies, let's look at the flies themselves. Not all flies are created equal, and that's part of what can make this game a little bit more difficult. When we're looking at dry flies in particular, dry flies are going to have light feathers, typically smaller, thin bodies, and in this case, this is a parachute. It's made up of these hackles, light wire hooks. I'm gonna put this right on top of the box so there's a little bit easier view of it. Now, these are dry flies. They can come in many sizes, shapes, colors, and variations. But generally speaking, a dry fly is any fly that's going to sit on top of the water and be presented to fish that are eating off of the top. Now, as we look through the box, we have another family of fly, which is the nymph. Now, a nymph is basically the larval stage of a dry fly. This is what a bug will spend the majority of its life under the water looking like. Nymphs will often have small beads to help weigh them down, because since they're living under the water, weight is necessary to get that down to the fish in their holding lanes. This one is a split back PMD. It is called that because of the yellow on the back, making it look like a bug that is about to hatch. Nymphs will often have curvature in their profile, but the priority is to get down and mimic larval stages. The next family of fly we have is going to be the terrestrial. Now, terrestrials are just a different type of dry fly, but they mimic large insects that don't typically live in the water. In this case, a grasshopper. Grasshoppers don't have any of their life cycle that happens in the water. They are born and the eggs are laid on land. However, since this river runs through this desert area, in the summertime, grasshoppers are hatching all over the place. And when a breeze kicks up, they often fall in the water. Trout will eat every single one they have the chance to, because that is a very big source of protein for these fish. We call that family of fly the terrestrial.